It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and I couldn't get Miss Callie out. Oh, I want to cry, I want to cry, I want to cry. I had tried to make plans and stuff and means beyond my control, let me put it that way. I couldn't get up there. I'm still going to get her in some other future ones. I know I will, but I really wanted her in this one because it's a sweetheart dinner special for two, and you know how much I love her. She's my sweetheart. Oh, I could just bawl. Anyway, so on today's show, we're going to be making some sweetheart specials and dinner for two, of course. And to start off with the soup course, we're going to be making a cream of potato and prosciutto soup. Won't that sound good? And what I've got going here now is I got one medium onion, a yellow onion, and I got that diced up into tiny bits. Not a small dice, not, mince, but small, like 1/4 inch or so, 1/4 inch square. And then for my potatoes, I've got, what did I do? 1, 2, 3, well, 4, 5. I did about, well, you can do, as many or as little as you want. Since we're going to do this for two, I should cut back on this, is what I should do. But the medium onion is still fine. And, oh, excuse me, that was it. This weather right now, as of the recording, we got up to 39 today. Woo, heat wave. That is a heat wave for us. And anytime winter, I just hate this fall and spring, I get sinus problems. But it's the barometer pressure is what it actually is. So when it got warm today, I woke up this morning and I was so plucked. I couldn't even breathe. Oh my Lord. And I get that all the time. Oh, I just hate that. And I go, well, you should move to Phoenix now where your friends are and take care of my arthritis and my sinuses all in one. Yeah, but I hate moving. Oh, I hate it. Just absolutely hate it. Just when you get used to something, then you get up and move, up and root it. No, I can't do that. And I'm not wealthy enough to buy a house and stay in one spot, so. And when you're single, it's even harder because you don't have nobody to share expenses with. You know what I mean? You know what it was like or what it is like depending upon your situation. But yeah, it can be hard for single people. Especially a man, because generally speaking, a single man doesn't have the children with him. The ex-wife or girlfriend or the other half, whatever, usually has them. So you can't get dependent, if you go apply for aid or help and stuff. So it's really hard for a single man to really make it if they don't have a college education like me. Anyway, so we're going to make our potato soup with prosciutto. And what is prosciutto? It's Italian ham is what it is basically, but it's cut really, really thin. It's almost like translucent. It's Italian. And this here is, what was it, 3 ounce? Yeah, it's a 3 ounce package. And it's, like I said, it's cut very, very thin, which is fine. It doesn't matter. Most of the time people put this prosciutto into like sandwiches or as wraps. Not so much sandwiches because it's not that hearty, to fill up an appetite. But it's usually for like, if you did like say hors d'oeuvres for like a bacon wrapped or ham wrapped water chestnuts, this would be perfect for it. But it's very fragile. It's very, very thin, so it heats up really quickly. Onion there, because it's all done and sauteed. You just want to saute it until it's soft and translucent, which it is. And I saute this in a 1/2 stick of butter. You can do like a 1/4 stick butter and then a 1/4 cup of olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever you prefer. And that will keep the butter from burning. Then we're gonna, after they're translucent, then we're gonna add, half cup butter then, and so it'd be a 1/2 cup of flour. I gotta get all these figures in my head here. And stir this, and this is what is making our roux. It's nice and thick. In the pot here, I peeled and diced up potatoes, and I've got them, little 1/2-inch cubes to 1/4-inch cubes. You want them kind of small because you want to be able to all fit on the spoon. And you just stir this until the flour is dissolved, which it is, nice. And then we're going to use the potato water as our stock. And I'm not going to pour in all of these potatoes. I can save these potatoes for like American fries or something. I'm just going to pour it in by half. So let's just say then that was probably about, I'm like 3 or 4 potatoes. And I did the rest, that's the larger ones. Peeled them and then just chopped them up and cubed them up, And then when you stir this up, it's thick. It's really thick right away. But you want to use the potato water at first, just because it has flavor in it. And then we can add a can of beef broth, or you could add more water, say another 1.5 cups of water, and a little beef base, like about a teaspoon or 2. Because we want to get this beef flavor. Recyclables? Callie always used to remind me, recyclables. So then we just take and stir this up to thin out the paste. Ooh, nice, nice. Now, you can leave the chunks if you like your potato soup chunky, or you can take your immersion one and cream it all up right in the pot. So that's all, what preference you like to do. Me, I like something to bite into. I like chunks. So let me just taste this and see what it's like. You got to Uncle Roy this up here. Let's see, about a tablespoon of parsley flakes. We'll turn this down to a low simmer because that's basically done. We don't need to heat this up much more. It's already hot. And we don't need to cook it because the potatoes are already cooked. So if you overcook this soup, your potatoes are going to start to disintegrate. And then I'm going to take and add about a teaspoon of thyme. As he said, barbarian time. And it could use a little beef base. That beef broth is good in there, but it's just not enough flavor. I just use that broth because I'd rather use that than just plain water. But it still needs a little bit of base. So I'm going to put in about a teaspoon, 1.5 teaspoons. Like I said, with any of your spices and any of your dishes, put in a little. You can't take it all once it's in there. So, if it's not enough, add more. If it's too much, you can't take it back out. So work your way up. I love this potato soup. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to taste this. I'm not putting in any salt in because that base is pure salt. Ooh, that is good. I just need something. I'll put just a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. That should do it. I just need a little kick in there. And now I got the prosciutto, and I'm just going to roughly chop this up because it's already cooked. Well, it's not cooked. It's very thinly sliced, so this will just heat up and cook right away. But you don't want to put this in right away. You just want to put this in towards the end because it'll just disintegrate too if you overcook. And we want to have some chunks of the ham in there and of the potato. And it's not that much of ham anyway. If you had some, leftover regular baked ham, dice that up instead and throw it in, that's fine too. I just happen to have this on hand, so that's what I'm using it for. I'd rather have the big baked ham, ooh, tons of leftovers. See, we used to get that big baking hams, for Easter or a Sunday dinner or something. See, back in the day when I was a kid, we used to sit together at the table and eat together as a family. Novel idea, isn't it? They just don't do that anymore. Chomp, chomp, 5 minutes and you're gone. But anyway, we used to always buy when we bought a big ham, we'd have sit-down dinner and we'd have the big ham, slice up the ham first for dinner. Then the next day, Mom would make scalloped potatoes and ham. Take off the chunks off the bone, the big chunker she could find. Scalloped potatoes and ham, that was for dinner. And then you have your vegetables and salads and stuff, whatever, to go with it. And then the third meal, we always got 3 meals out of it, was with the bone and make pea soup out of it or navy bean and ham soup. Oh, I just love navy bean and ham. It's one of my favorites. I like pea soup too, but navy bean and ham is one of my absolute favorites. Okay, now this looks good and done. Let's try this again. The parsley and thyme gives it a little, color in there too. There we go. There we go. I'm happy now. Like I said, there was just a little touch of something that was missing. So this is our fabulous dinner for two, your sweetheart special, potato and ham soup. Or this one is called cream of potato and prosciutto soup. One thing I was taught too by Pam Sherman when I worked for her. Of course, I always want to make sure that your plate is clean. Get rid of any drips or spills on that edge. And then she always garnished every single soup she made. She garnished it with something. Now let's see, what do I have? I know what I want, and I can't see it. So I'm just going to garnish with a little additional parsley. Now if you had some fresh parsley, that would be even nicer. And you could just take and put a sprig on the side. It would be just beautiful. But I don't happen to have that. I'm limited. So, this is our cream of potato and prosciutto soup. Don't that look good? What do I do with my spoon now, Callie? Oh, Callie's not here. I'm just used to it. You don't go along with me, I know. This is a meal in itself for me. Oh, is that ever good? So happy Valentine's Day. So as you can tell, it's Valentine's, but I don't have much decorations. Like I said, everything I have is in storage. Oh, I don't know when I'll have everything out. When I get my own place, probably. But I also have I Love New York. I Heart New York. Oh. I got a lovely cup though. That's for my coffee. Soup. Oh, and speaking of the potato soup, we have Valentine potatoes. See, the whole potato is grown like that was a double potato in the shape of a heart. I didn't do it, I didn't glue it, I just grew that way. I found that in the bag. So it was appropriate for Valentine's. It came in just in handy. Okay, now we'll go on to our second recipe, and this is going to be our little wonderful dessert. Very comfort food and very sinfully delicious. I'm going to have to shoot up for this one because it's very rich. So let's see now. I'm going to need a bowl. And let's see, we don't have to mix up anything. Oh, and what we're going to be making is an apple raisin bread pudding. Oh, that's going to be so good. It's very rich. Oh, Lordy. Boy, my sinuses are cleared up. Now I got a sore throat. Oh, I bet you I'm getting that flu that's going around. Oh, not good. I don't want it. Oh, I'm just going to start my new job. Anyway. Oh, wrong one. Ooh, ooh. Oh, Miss Callie, Ellis. Oh. I just took and got back from up there. I thought, oh, okay, let's just go up there and surprise you and myself and everybody else. And he wasn't home yet from work, and I sat and waited for an hour and a half in his driveway. No one there. Of course, when I first got there, I knocked on the door, and all of a sudden, Callie just vicious, protecting her house, you know. And then I go, Callie, and she started crying and pawing at the door. She was quiet. Oh, Uncle Roy's here, Uncle Roy's here. She knew me immediately. Oh, she was just quiet. And I was just crying too. I couldn't get to her. Oh. So I was going to film this portion of the rest of the show up there if I could have, but it didn't work out. So we'll try again. Anyway, so for the bread pudding, what we're going to start out with, I've got 4 cups of diced bread. Now use your stale bread, use a day old bread. What I like to do is I'll just go to the grocery store and go to their the day old bread section. You know, the grocery cart has the day old breads in it or whatever, and just buy a loaf of that, because I usually don't have that much bread around the house. And if I do, I usually have it frozen, so, you know, because I don't eat that much. It'll mold before I have a chance to eat it all. So I usually keep it in the freezer and just take out a couple pieces whenever I need it. And if I toast it, you know, that thaws it all right there. But anyway, you want 4 cups of diced bread and a half cup of chopped up apples, small, and a half cup of raisins. Now, for your bread, you can use any bread you want to, technically, you know. Stay away from the savories, because you don't want a savory bread pudding unless that's what you want, which is unlikely because you want a sweet bread pudding. The best kind of bread to use is any type of white bread. Now, you can use like French bread baguettes if you want to, or Italian loaf, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, those are all white breads and they're good. They absorb a lot of milk. One thing you can do, I used to work at Pam Sherman's. I keep talking about that. That was back in the 80s. What we used to do there is we used day-old cinnamon rolls that we had from the day before, if they didn't sell that day. So the next day we would take, when we come in the morning, take the leftover cinnamon rolls and chop those up and put them. Oh God, is that ever good? Oh, that is just very sinfully delicious. Because you got the frosting in there and the cinnamon and raisins. Oh, it's delicious. That makes the best bread pudding I've ever tasted. And but you can use any kind of bread you want to. You know, any type of white bread works best. Even cinnamon bread you could use, or cinnamon raisin bread you can use too. That's excellent. I keep dying when I see this. Happy Valentine's Day. The heart-shaped Valentine potato. That just cracks me up. Okay, so we have 4 cups of diced bread, and you want to do like about 1/2 to 1 inch cubes. You don't want great big huge ones. And you don't want little tiny ones either, because then they turn mushy and then they dissipate and you got no substance for your pudding. It was 2 cups of milk, that's right, 2 cups of milk, 3 eggs, 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 3 eggs. I say that? Yeah. Anyway, we just pour this over and a 1/3 cup sugar, that was the one, 1/3 cup sugar. And I got the oven turned on to 350, it's heating up. And what we're gonna put this in is a 8-inch square pan. Now, for some reason, a lot of people wanna use a glass pan for making bread pudding, and that's fine, you can do that. But remember to turn your temperature down 25 degrees, so you put it at 325 rather than 350, because glass heats up much quicker and it'll burn it. So I'm just going to use the 8-inch granny pan. The tin pan, these aluminum pans are just the best for cooking, like I said before too, with your breads, your cookie sheets, anything. You want the old-fashioned tin ones that Grandma and Mom used to use, because they spread the heat evenly. Teflon ones, the dark Teflon, absorb heat. So that's going to burn bottoms of your bundt pans and cookies, everything. So just get the regular old tin ones. They work best. Just spray it. That's all you have to do. And I can just pour this into here is fine. Well, like I said, we're still going to let this sit for 5 minutes. So we'll just let this sit now for just a couple more here. I've been gabbing away since almost 5 minutes. And I'm just going to pat this down in there. And what I used to do when I was working at Wall Street Deli, which is a chain of restaurants in the South, and they tried opening up one here, and it didn't go over that good. Well, I was the first employee hired and the last employee to leave. I mean, it went through all new people, all new bosses, everything. So I was the only person who opened and closed the place, basically. And my bread pudding was the best. Of course it was. But what I did was, I would put this in your microwave containers that were this size, the quarter size, the hotel pans are like, wrong triangles, would be a half pan, 2-inch, and they were plastic, microwave safeable. And I would put it in the microwave and cook it that way for, 10 minutes, I think it was, covered with saran wrap so it doesn't dry out. And it worked out perfectly, absolutely perfect. And it was like the best bread pudding. In fact, it was, because the Minneapolis Tribune taste section editor was in for lunch and had it, loved it, and wanted the recipe, and they printed up in the taste section of the Star and Tribune. Woohoo! Uncle Roy's first recipe printed up. This is way back in the 80s. So they absolutely loved it. And it just like, I couldn't keep up with that, because once I got out of the paper, boom, people just came in and just went right off the buffet immediately. Now what I'm also doing here is just sprinkling very lightly cinnamon and nutmeg, because we already got cinnamon in the whole mixture, but I like to top it off just a sprinkle of cinnamon and nutmeg on top. And we got the raisins in there, and the eggs and apples. Oh, this is going to be so good. And then we have that hard sauce we're going to be making. But I don't have booze, so I'm not going to have booze in it. But you can put a shot of brandy in there if you wanted to, because it gives it a really good flavor. Of course, I wouldn't know. I don't drink. Oh, but I can imagine. So we have this at 350 for 40 to 45 minutes, or until, not a toothpick now this time, butter knife. You want to just take a plain, regular old butter knife, and you want to stick that in, make sure it's dry, because you want this to go in and come out clean. When the knife comes out clean, then your bread pudding is done. So that's anywhere from 40, 45 minutes at 350. We got that 350, yep. And if you use glass, 325. Now for the hard sauce. This we're gonna microwave. So I can just put this all in this little container. And what this is, ooh, let's see if I remember now. A stick of butter, which is half a cup. A tablespoon of vanilla. A half teaspoon. Oh no, in the bread pudding was a half teaspoon of almond. That's for that almond flavoring. That's what I was thinking of. Half teaspoon of almond flavoring in the bread pudding. Tablespoon of vanilla in the sauce. A stick of butter, which is half a cup. 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. And what else? Oh, the sugar. I didn't put the sugar in here. Oh, I would have found that out when I got up there. Or did I? I think I got this sugar in here. Not much. Vanilla, butter. I know it calls for sugar. When I got a third cup sugar is what it calls for. I did put that in there. I remember it now, but I can't taste it. I think it stuck mostly to the inside of the plastic bag. Learning from mistakes. But what I would have done, and I could have done it here too, is just throw this whole thing right into the microwave, because this is microwavable plastic. And it would have melted the sugar and the butter together, and I would have gotten all the sugar out of here. I suppose I could still probably do it, but it's just a mess right now. Let me just try this. Maybe if I just heat it up, it'll come out easier. Try something new. That's one thing I'm always game for, is always to try something new. I'm not afraid to. Heck, if it helps you out, you learn something new, and saves time or whatever, I do it. That's a lot of things how I discover is by, trial and error. If it don't work, then I won't do it again, But if it does work, well, then it's like, hey, this is neat, this is quick, this is easy. So I'm just going to do it for a few seconds there just to warm it up so that the sugar and vanilla and butter that's leftovers that's in there can melt out. I don't have to take and heat it up. Not that much. But I will here. I just want to get this out of the bag as much as possible. There's more coming out there, yeah. Makes it easier to scoop out. We just heat it up just a little. But I'm still going to put a little bit more sugar in there. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my sinuses are just, oh. That's what I should do, is I should go to the doctor and get some antibiotics, but I should do it. I know it's a sinus infection. I get them every year, spring and fall. I'm just going to add a 1/4 cup more sugar. So altogether, just from what's here and what's dissolved and what didn't come out, 1/2 cup sugar. Now, like I said too, it also calls for a cup of liquid. And what? Let's see, where is it now? Oh, I don't want that. If you have a cup of apple juice, that would be perfect. Oh well, I can always use a cup of water. But apple juice would be best. Because the recipe called for water, but I'd rather have apple juice. It'd give a much better flavor. It really would. So, I got a rotisserie in here, and we're going to cook this up until it starts to bubble. Or you can put it on the stove too in a small saucepan and bring it to a boil and then let it cool and sit until your pudding's done. And when your pudding's done, let that sit and cool and for about 10 minutes or so. You might want to serve it hot. And then you can pour the sauce right over the top.